Welcome back to the Goal2Go podcast, man. Episode 20, NFL Wildcard Weekend, just ahead of us, man. It was a good regular season. Really looking forward to the playoffs now, bro. Got the Dolphins and the Eagles in the playoffs. Obviously, two different circumstances. But
kind of similar, but one's just a lot more drastic than the other.
I mean, at least your quarterback's playing.
As far as we know, yeah. But Nick Sirianni said after the game, like, Jalen Hurts was in a lot of pain that game. So we'll see. Bye week should be good.
No doubt, man. This episode, you already know, got hot or not. Gonna do something a little bit different. Got some player stat lines we're gonna go over, and we're trying to guess just purely off the stats which player you rather take. And then obviously our wild card picks for the week. Just to run down really quick. You won the pick'ems, whatever you want to call it, for the regular season, man.
Pretty convincingly, if I do say.
10-6 this week. You went 10-6. I went 153 and 119, and you went 172 and 98. So congrats on less than 100 losses. It's always next season, man. But first off, we're gonna jump into those hot or nots, man. A little quick segment of hot or not this week. Just got one. And this one, seen the media talking about it a little bit. Texans blew that first pick of the draft last week by winning the game against the Colts. Mm-hmm. So hot or not, the Bears will select Bryce Young number 1 overall.
I think that's a hot take, especially with, the way their roster is constructed right now. Quarterback is just not a big need for them right now. Now, if you believe Bryce Young is better than Justin Fields or Justin Fields isn't the answer, that's another argument. I personally believe Justin Fields is fine at quarterback for them. But ultimately, even if they did take Bryce Young, it's not fixing anything. He just going to the same horrible situation as Justin Fields. So I personally believe they trade back, just get a bunch of draft capital, and end up acquiring, other players just to help that team because, they have the first pick for a reason. They just need so much more than quarterback. So I don't think they take Bryce Young.
They were talking about it. So you wouldn't take Bryce Young, get a first and a third for Justin Fields, and then you got more cap space to free up, get some free agent acquisitions.
No, because I think you can get more for the first round overall pick.
All right, bro, they're just talking about it.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for value, like, you're gonna get more for the first round pick in total. Like, the amount of draft capital today. My gosh,
I think you should just put that one on the back burner.
I might, but you'd get a lot more. You see what teams are giving up nowadays: 2 firsts, possibly 3 firsts. Just to move up with the 49ers moved up to get Trey Lance a few years back. I believe they gave up 3 firsts, a couple of second-round picks, third-round picks, a couple mid-day picks. So I think you'd get more value with trading the number 1 overall pick than you would with trading Justin Fields, just kind of because you already know what he is. And that's, arguably the best runner in the league this year. But, with a new prospect like Bryce Young coming in, you really don't know. He could be, like the next Drew Brees or like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, or he could be a bust. But it's just the uncertainty. He could end up being better than Justin Fields. So I think teams would rather, take a shot on their guy rather than trade for Justin Fields. Plus, I don't think the Bears will. Like, build around Justin Fields, give him a supporting cast. It'll be straight.
All right, that's the one I had.
All right, the one okay, hot or not, the 6 starting quarterbacks in the AFC are the 6 best in the league. So the AFC teams that are in the playoffs, like, they're original starting quarterbacks. So not Anthony Brown and Skylar Thompson.
I was gonna say, man.
Yeah, the quarterbacks that got him there.
the sixth best. Like no one in NFC is better.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's a hot take. I think Jalen Hurts has proved himself to be in that conversation with those six. You look at everyone's numbers this year and how they've played. Jalen Hurts has probably played better than Joe Burrow in all 18 games, or how many he ever played. Better than Lamar Jackson before he got hurt. Arguably even Tua. I mean, Jalen Hurts was in that MVP convo just a few weeks ago. So I think it's a bit of a hot take, man. To say that the sixth best, unquestionable. Obviously, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, probably 1 and 2 for sure. After that, I think you can mix it up. NFC obviously got a drop off of QBs, but Justin Herbert's up there. I wouldn't put T-Law ahead of Hurts either, but T-Law's been playing a lot better, and he's shown his capability as a starting quarterback in this league.
Yeah, and I literally just thought of another one. Hot or not, we'll see a rookie quarterback get their first playoff win.
That's not a hot take, man. Skylar Thompson for the dub.
So you're banking your money on not Brock Purdy?
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about Purdy. Bro, I was thinking about this the other day. Skylar Thompson, 7th round pick. Brock Purdy, 7th round pick. Like,
Anthony Brown's undrafted.
Would Brock Purdy be better than Skylar Thompson if he was on the Dolphins? Like, it'd be interesting to see. I obviously don't know.
Probably be the same quarterback, bro. Like, Skylar Thompson in the San Francisco offense, like, with Kyle Shanahan, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a coin flip. You don't know which way it would go, but both 7th round products. One Mr. Irrelevant. But either way, I mean, it'd be interesting to see both players on different systems.
It would. The Kansas State.
Yeah. Bro, he was balling in the preseason. I mean, can't make a throw at all.
Huh? Just going to have to make him up in Buffalo.
Man, if I don't see 49ers, Mike McDaniel, I don't know if Mostert's going to play. So down to Jeff Wilson and Salvin Ahmed, 2 capable backs. So Bill's obviously going to probably try to stack that box up. We're going to see. But me being a Dolphins fan, I just can't pick against them. Straight bias. Throwing it all out there. This might be like Bud Dupree laying out Matt Moore in 2016.
Oh, my God.
In the Steelers-Dolphins playoff game where the Steelers just dominated the Dolphins.
Wait, Antonio Brown. Shout out Tony Lippett, man.
I was just about to say, burning your favorite corner in the league.
Bro,
this man was the biggest Tony Lippett believer.
I thought he was better than Xavier Howard back then, bro. I'm not ashamed, fam. I did believe that. Clearly, I was wrong. That was a hot take, huh?
Oh, yeah. That was a freezing cold take. But, I mean, that's going to wrap up our Hot or Nots, man.
And didn't he jump off sides on that field goal, too?
Yeah. What? That was the same game, right?
It was, yeah.
And that was at, like, it was a turning point, too, because it was like halftime.
Something
I think
like that.
they went up, like, 2 scores. Yeah, he did. It was not his best game at all. He had a decent year, bro, but he's a converted wide receiver that just had raw speed. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. But we're gonna dive into those player stats. Gonna give 2 players each their numbers. You gotta pick the player based off the number without knowing who the actual player is. So you want to give yours first, or you want me to start you off?
You start off.
All right, so I got running backs. You got wide receivers. I'm going to start you off. So player 1 finished the season off with 1,525 yards, averaging 5.1 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns. Player 2 finished the season with 1,538 yards, 13 yards more. He averaged 4.4 yards a carry, 1 more touchdown with 13. You going with player 1 or player 2?
I'm gonna pick player one, but can I also try to guess who they are?
Yeah. That's part of it.
I think one of them's Travis Etienne.
Neither of them are Travis
No?
Etienne.
Damn. What was the first one again?
1,525 yards, 5.1 yards per carry, 12 TDs.
12 TDs. And the second one had how many touchdowns?
13.
Damn.
Similar in yards. Player 2 had a 4.4 yard per carry, though.
I'm trying to think. Is the second one Nick Chubb?
No.
Damn. I'm trying to think, like, who was up there, like, with the recent. Because that's, like, you said 1,500?
Which one?
They both had
1,500 yards. Player 2 had 13 yards more, but averaged 7.7 less yards per carry.
Are these the two league leaders in rushing?
They might be.
So one is Josh Jacobs.
No. All right. So no.
No?
Yeah, it's not the top two, but you would look at these two players as they're the 1 and 2 running backs in the NFL. Possibly. They're not dual threat backs.
So Derrick Henry's one of them?
Yeah, he's player 2.
Second one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Averaging 4.4 yards per carry.
And who did I take over Derrick Henry?
You took Nick Chubb.
I literally just asked you if one of them was Nick
You
Chubb.
asked if player 2 was Nick Chubb.
I said player 2?
Yeah.
I didn't say one of them?
Yeah, you said is player 2 Nick Chubb.
Whatever. But I would say Nick Chubb over Derrick Henry, so.
All right. Do you want me to hit you with that second one?
Yeah.
All right.
That's crazy. So, yeah, 5.2 yards per carry.
5.1.
5.1. How many carries did he get? Did you?
Nah, I didn't write it down. But way less than Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So next up, player 1
Mm-hmm.
finished with 1,121 rushing yards, 5.3 yards per carry, 5 rushing touchdowns, 35 receptions, 316 yards through the air, 0 receiving TDs. Both these guys are dual threats. Player 2, 1,121 yards 5.3 yards per carry. Had 2 rushing touchdowns, but also tallied 59 receptions, 395 yards, and 5 TDs through the air.
One more time.
Yeah. All right. So player 1 had a combined total of 5 touchdowns, 1,121 yards, 5.3 yards to carry,
Mm-hmm.
and he had 316 yards through the air on 35 catches.
Okay.
Player 2, same amount of yards. He had 5.3 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns, 59 receptions, 395 yards, 5 TDs through the air. So 7 touchdowns total.
Fuck. I will go with number 2.
You going number 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say the receptions again.
Number 2 had 59 catches.
And how many number 1 had?
35.
Okay. But they both. And what's the receiving yards?
Player 2 with 59 catches had 395.
Yeah.
Player 1 had 316
And you said 5 receiving touchdowns?
for player 2.
And only 2 rushing?
Yeah.
How many rushing did the first one have?
He had 5 rushing.
And
0 receiving.
Damn.
Both not top tier dual threats, but
Christian McCaffrey came to mind, but he's had more rushing touchdowns than that this season, I'm pretty sure.
I think he's had more everything.
He has. It's not Jerick McKinnon. He has 9 receiving touchdowns or some crazy shit like that. I think it is 9. Damn. I want to say one is DeAndre Swift. I don't think he has 1,000 rushing yards.
It's not Swift.
It's not.
I'll give you a hint. NFC North.
I know who. So one's Aaron Jones.
Player 2 is Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
The division for the next
So
one.
wait. 2 rushing touchdowns?
Yeah.
The first one had how many rushing touchdowns?
5.
I think is the first one Ramondre Stevenson.
Nah. He's in the AFC. You said his name earlier.
Wait, they're both in the AFC North?
Nah. One was the NFC North, the Pack.
Yeah, Aaron Jones.
And then this one's in the AFC. Just the AFC. Not the North.
You said I said his name already?
Yeah, you said it in the last guess around.
And
What player was I high on this year?
that was ETN?
Yeah, that was
ETN. Put him
ETN.
in one of them, bro.
Both of them had similar stats.
They did have
AJ
very
had
similar stats.
more catches in the year and more receiving touchdowns.
Which makes sense.
He got
AJ Dillon got all the
check downs.
touchdowns, yeah.
AJ Dillon get the goal line touches.
ETN had. Okay. Those two good ones. I think I would take both players over, like, if I knew the names as well. So
I'm
happy about that.
Yeah. Nah, I think you did solid, bro. I think guessing is gonna be hard here, bro. It makes things interesting here.
It is. All right, so I did receivers. First one I have, receiver 1. I just did catches, yards, and touchdowns. I didn't do like yards per reception, nothing like that. So receiver 1 had 90 catches on the year, 1,048 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And receiver number 2 had 84 receptions, 1,033 yards, but 9 receiving touchdowns.
How many touchdowns player 1 have?
6.
All right, well, I'm gonna take a guess at one of these players is Christian Watson.
No.
Damn.
Christian Watson didn't. I don't think he had 1,000 yards.
Yeah, you're probably right. Run. How many catches the first player have?
90.
And he had less yards.
No, he had more yards. 1,048, and the second one had 1,033.
Okay. I'm gonna go with player 2.
Player 2?
Yeah.
Can I guess who they are?
Damn, that shit's tough.
This one's kind of like a trick one.
I bet it's like Christian Kirk.
No. That's a good guess.
Who just made it?
I'll give you a hint, bro.
It's probably someone.
One's a receiver 1 and one's a receiver 2.
One's a receiver 1.
Yeah.
Is one of them Amari Cooper?
No. I almost put him on, but I didn't. That'd be too easy.
Receiver 1 and receiver 2. Who bought out as a receiver 2 this year?
I'm gonna be honest. No, I'm gonna be honest. When I looked at these numbers, I had no idea like they did like this well this season. No,
right, so it can't be Smitty. Then.
It's not Smitty.
Yeah. Damn.
I don't think you're gonna guess him, bro. It's kind of a trick too.
Is he on the Rams or some shit? Like
no,
some bum team at one of them.
Not a bum team. I'll give you a hint. They're both on a playoff team.
They're both on a playoff team.
Yes.
So that's Seahawks. Is one of them DK Metcalf?
Yes.
Which
first
one was
one?
That? First one was DK.
90, 1,048, and 6.
Yeah. He's a number 2 receiver. Tyler Boyd?
No. It's close. It's very close.
Same team?
On the Bengals?
Yeah.
He's not on the Bengals.
And they're a receiver, not a tight end, right?
No, it's a receiver.
Okay.
So the receiver
Mark
too.
Andrews, bro. Dog. I mean, Mike Will.
No.
Damn. Ayuk?
No.
Bro, I'm like, there's no way a Giants receiver had that.
Not a Giants receiver.
Bro, I guess Adam Thielen? Like,
no.
Bro, I barely got any teams left. Chris Godwin? Like,
it's not Chris Godwin.
It's a number 2 receiver. Like, bro, Tyler Lockett? Like,
yes.
They're on the same team?
It's Tyler Lockett. That's DK and Tyler Lockett.
Bro, there's no way you picked 2 from the same
I did,
team,
yes.
Bro,
I looked at their stats. They were pretty similar. I'm like, damn, that'd be a good one.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. It's shaking some shit up here, bro.
That's what happens when you have a Pro Bowl quarterback, man. Both put up 1,000 yards and over 5 touchdowns. I didn't think Tyler Lockett had that good of a year.
Bro, every once in a while, Gino would drop that perfect deep ball for a touchdown.
Yeah. All right. Second one. This one's a little easier. Not as tricky. They're not on the same team. I'll give you that.
Bro, I was expecting two different teams.
Yeah. All right. Player 1 had 75 receptions, 812 yards, 6 touchdowns, while player 2 had 63 receptions, 888 yards, and 7 touchdowns.
How many touchdowns the first one had?
6.
I mean,
With 75 receptions. And player 2 had 63 receptions and 7 touchdowns.
we go with player 1. I'm not gonna let one touchdown just shake it up for me. More of a high volume guy.
Yeah.
But man, I'm gonna have to guess maybe
Player 1 is crazy. I'm going to just say that.
like crazy unexpected.
Like, yes. Unexpected, but it's expected.
Is one of them Christian Watson?
No. What is
I'm just trying to guess the high touchdowns, like yards.
No.
Dang.
Neither one of these players are on playoff teams, and they're both in the NFC.
Both in the NFC. Chris
Yes.
Godwin?
No. He's on a playoff
Oh,
team.
Chris Olave. No, he didn't have that many tutties.
No. And he had 1,000 yards.
Not on playoff teams.
No. But are they in the... not in the same division.
One of them. Nah, no way. It's D-Hop.
One is in the same division as D-Hop, though.
Then I'm gonna go with one of them is either Mike Will or Keenan Allen.
No.
No.
That's the AFC.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
And the Chargers are in the playoffs.
NFC West non-playoff team.
So only one other team.
Yeah, but dang, bro, like who's on the Rams, bro? That's like, you tell me that one random ass dude, I can't even pronounce his name.
Van Jefferson?
No, is it Van Jefferson?
No.
I didn't think so. It's like
On the Rams, though.
it's the white boy.
No.
No?
Skoronsky?
Yeah,
It's not him. It's the other white boy.
Cooper Kupp
Cooper
had
Kupp's numbers,
800
bro.
yards.
Yes.
You're
6
lying.
touchdowns and 75 receptions.
Bro, Matt Stafford, throw the ball to somebody else. He played like what, 8 games?
I don't know, bro, but these kind of numbers, bro, that shit was like, damn. Like, if you'd have played the whole season with Stafford, you'd have went on some crazy shit again.
It's a different division now, but it's an NFC.
Yeah.
Go to the North.
No.
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 NFC East.
No.
So it's the South.
Yes.
I'm gonna go Carolina. DJ Moore.
Yes.
Okay.
I was DJ Moore. Was number
Receiver 2.
Yeah.
And one was Cooper Kupp.
Yes.
Those numbers are just. One of them just had a revolving door, and the other one just was
Played half a
force-fed.
season.
Yeah. Dog, I thought. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You went deep into the playbook on that one. I'm gonna have to bring this back next week, man.
How did I go deep in the playbook, bro? I just made it creative.
Exactly, bro. It's way more creative than I thought. Those were solid, bro. Those were solid.
Almost did another one too, with like running backs.
Ooh, we could do it next week.
It's whatever. I'm about to do another segment.
Yeah, man. Look. Damn. I need to step my game up. That's all that shit told me. But, all right, man. That wraps up our guess the player, pick the player, whatever the hell you want to call this. NFL wildcard weekend, man. Is there a better time to be alive? Probably. Because we got Skylar Thompson and Anthony Brown out on the field. First off, bro, Roquan Smith getting paid before LJ.
Yeah, the Ravens clearly just told you where they stand, bro. Like, I don't know why they would pay Roquan and not Lamar. But hey, man, if they value the middle linebacker position, then go ahead and pay him, bro.
I've never ever heard anybody say that before. But
Highest paid middle linebacker.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wild card weekend, man. Not sure. Like, you got these games in order?
Yes.
Okay.
Seahawks and 49ers are on Saturday.
Yeah.
And the Chargers and Jags. Then the 3 games on Sunday and Cowboys Bucks Monday.
Okay. So Seahawks Niners got that 1 p.m. matchup.
I think it's like 4:30 actually.
Yeah, it's gotta be
probably 1 on there on the West Coast.
Yeah.
4:30.
I was about to say no way it's East. All right.
Yeah.
So Seahawks Niners, man. I think the Seahawks, we both didn't expect them to be here in this spot.
I don't think anyone did.
Great fight, man. MVP-esque year from your boy Gino. I just think Niners too much. They got too much on the defensive side of the ball. One of the best defenses in the league, if not the best. And then you look the other way, CMC, Debo's back, George Kittle, Brock Purdy, or Jimmy Garoppolo, or Trey Lance. Doesn't matter which quarterback's out on that field right now. I think they get it done at home, man. As you would say, Candlestick. Tough place to play.
Levi Stadium.
Yeah, Levi. But I think the Niners get it done at home against the Seahawks. I think it's going to be close game first half. Kind of see them pulling away, fatiguing out that Seahawks defense in the second half.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the 49ers here as well. Arguably the most complete team in football. I mean, like, outside of the quarterback position, like, they literally have everything. Now, this is a divisional game. This 49ers, I believe, beat them twice already. So, you know what it is. You know what they say. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. Like, you play a team 3 times. You've seen them a lot. They're division opponent. You know how to play. So, I believe there is a way for the Seahawks to win this game. And I think it just comes down to, you know, those 2 receivers I had in the little guess the player challenge. They got to have big games. And Gino has to play at that high level he was at early on this season. DK goes out, has a really big game along with Tyler Lockett, and then, you know, they mix in Kenneth Walker. I think this offense has enough firepower to beat the 49ers, but ultimately I just don't think they get it done. 49ers are such a complete team. Our defensive player of the year, Joey Bosa, he's been, you know, just a Nick, excuse me. He's been a nuisance on the edge this whole season, leading the league in sacks and QB pressures. So it's going to be tough for Gino out there, I believe, on the rookie tackles the Seahawks have. So it's going to be a tough task. There's a way for the Seahawks to win, but ultimately, kind of like you said, I just think the 49ers overwhelm them. They're just a better team. I think they get it done.
Yeah. Next game up. This is, like, my opinion, one of the better games we're going to see this weekend. Chargers-Jags. Chargers travel to Jacksonville since they're divisional winners of the South. Chargers obviously started getting hot late. Same with the Jags. Herbert's coming to form. T-Law's
pretty much identical teams.
Showing the flashes.
Yeah.
Identical for sure. Jaguars made more plays, I think, defensively than the Chargers late in the season. They came up with big plays. But I don't know. I think Justin Herbert finally getting a chance at the NFL playoffs. I think he's got to show out, shut the critics up, and kind of carry this Chargers team to a win. It's going to be a tough task. Obviously, T-Law on the other side, first year back. But realistically, I can't count the Jags out. Last time they went to the playoffs, they were 1 play away from a Super Bowl title when they had Leonard Fournette and Blake Bortles. So a little bit different of a team now, more quarterback-centric.
Yeah. I think every single Jags fan would rather have Trevor Lawrence and Tony than Blake Bortles.
Hey, man. Put some respect on Bortles' name. But
UCF product, huh?
UCF legend. Man, won us that Fiesta Bowl before I even went there. But regardless, shout out Bortles, man. Chargers get it done in your city of Jacksonville.
Shout out Duval, man. I think them boys going to the game too, honestly. Few of them boys going, but
got to.
I mean, I think this is going to be the best game of the wild card weekend. Two teams that are pretty there's so many similarities. Both of them have that young rising star quarterback. Now, I would say Trevor Lawrence is just one step below Herbert, just because Justin Herbert has a few more years and has done more throwing and statistical wise. But who's to say in the same amount of years Trevor Lawrence won't be right there? So two very similar quarterbacks in the way they play. They can both have crazy arms, can make every single throw on the field. Big dudes that are a little mobile can also, get it going on the ground if there's nothing there through the air. Two super athletic guys. But ultimately, I like what you said about the Jags defense. Last week when that offense couldn't really get clicking against the Titans, it came down to their defense, making a big play against those Cowboys in overtime, making the big play with the pick six, and then last week with the scoop and score. Josh Allen, that's crazy. Not the one in Buffalo, the other Josh Allen scoring touchdowns. But yeah, it's going to be a good game, man. This game is one I'm excited for, but ultimately, when the teams are this similar, I just look at the quarterback position and which quarterback would I rather take? And personally, I would rather have Justin Herbert right now. I think he's a better quarterback. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Chargers. But if the Jags win at home, I would not be surprised at all. And then that just means we get Justin Herbert with Sean Payton. We already might get it. What Daly did last week, or with playing the starters and getting Mike Williams banged up, Joey Bosa banged up again in an absolutely meaningless game. There was no reason for them to be out there. It's kind of questionable head scratch. And, arguably your biggest game ever coming up. You haven't played in the bigger game yet in your coaching career, and it's kind of what you do. You set yourself up for failure. So I don't think that was a good idea, but I think reports are saying Mike Will is practicing, so hopefully he's going to be available, but questionable coaching. Ultimately, I think Justin Herbert can overcome all of that like he already has.
Mike Will, key component of that offense.
Yeah, if he's not playing, then I'd probably lean Jags.
I don't hate it. Before we move on, just wanted to touch on a couple things we kind of forgot. Cliff Kingsbury out of Arizona now. Joe Woods out of Cleveland now. Had to say those two things. But I want to ask you something real quick. I don't know, bro, I guess it's just like a Browns fan kind of on a podcast, and he was like, 8 weeks ago they wanted Joe Woods gone. Everyone in Cleveland did, but he stayed. Do you think it was to kind of try to just put all the blame on him? Because if 8 weeks ago they fired Joe Woods and the Browns were still the same, would the blame be on Stefanski and the rest of the organization? They kind of pinned it on Joe Woods for this year.
Well, I think you would have a better answer for that than me, because you've watched all the Browns games and can say it. But, was their defense good regardless? It doesn't matter.
At times.
The defense, if you want to improve on that side of the ball, then, that's where you want to start. So I think it could have gone either way.
I think play calling was very questionable the entire season. So.
You can address both. You don't have to just
Yeah, but they're kind of pinning it on him. Obviously Deshaun Watson, 11 games
if
in.
If the defensive play calling, the personnel and everything was bad or questionable all season.
I'm not saying Joe Woods should still be there.
That's what I'm saying.
But should Stefanski be gone with him? Andrew Berry, should he be? I'm just saying,
I don't think this makes it. I don't think this is putting all the blame on him. If he was not doing his job, then he deserves to be fired. You were literally on this podcast, calling for his job every single week. If that's
I've been calling for his job for 2.5 years now.
Exactly. So if that's the case, and if that's how the rest of the Browns fans are feeling and what's really going on, then I think it's deserving. I don't think it's a scapegoat. The defense was good, he wouldn't have gotten fired.
Oh man, I just had to bring that up. I thought it was interesting trying to use him kind of like a scapegoat, but obviously he should have been fired. But Stefanski deserves a lot of the blame, and if he can't turn it around next year, I think he'll be on the hot seat at some point at least. Definitely should be, but another year, you got Deshaun Watson for a full year. See what that offense is capable of next season. And then quickly, Cliff Kingsbury. So I was watching Skip and Shannon. They were talking about him, saying, like, how did he even get a job as an NFL head coach?
Well, you got it because of Kyler.
Yeah, but Shannon said if he was Cliff Kingsbury, he's sitting at home for the next 5 years while he's getting paid and not doing anything. Because the Cardinals got to pay him out unless he gets another job.
I think worst come to worst, he'll go back to college, bro.
Do you think an NFL team takes a chance on him?
No, but I did see reports saying that the Patriots might bring him in for offensive coordinator. Yeah.
I know they want to get Matt Patricia back on defense.
I could see him, if he wants to stay in the NFL, being a coordinator. But, I mean, he's also had success in college football. So if he kind of wants to go the Matt Rule route where, you know, it happens, bro. Like, look at Nick Saban, bro. He was supposed to be the savior for the Dolphins. He doesn't bring in Drew Brees, and he just bails on the team. Now he's a dynasty in Alabama. Like, it happens, bro. Some coaches just aren't made for coaching NFL. They like coaching college better. College fits them better. They have more control, more say in personnel. Coaching kids, not grown men who, like, where their livelihood is this game. Coaching, you know, college students, young guys who are, you know, need more development, trying to become better players. So if you want to go down that road, I think Cliff Kingsbury could easily get a Power 5 job somewhere in college football, but I think it just all depends on what he wants to do.
Yeah, I don't doubt he couldn't get a college. I just don't think an NFL team takes him as a head coach.
Maybe not this next season, but if he goes to somewhere like New England, Mac Jones turns around, he kind of goes the Josh McDaniels route where he gets another chance somewhere down the road, and I could definitely see that, but right now I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree with you. Next game on our list, much awaited, Miami.
Much awaited.
Either going to be a massacre or it's going to be – all right, let's just be real, man. Dolphins-Bills in Buffalo. Skylar Thompson starting quarterback against Josh Allen. And the Bills, if Josh Allen loses this, I think that there's some serious problems in Buffalo. But regardless, Miami Dolphins are number one in my book. I got to pick the Fins, man. Rocking with my heart. If they do want a chance to win, like I said earlier, Jeff Wilson, Sullivan, Ahmed, get the ball out of Thompson's hand quick, get some actual play action set up for him, and just stop all the penalties, man. The only reason that Jets game was even relevant was Dolphin killer penalties while they're driving. Get big plays, illegal formations. I know Mike McDaniel loves putting men in motion before pre-snap reads. With Skylar Thompson, I don't think so. He had a couple delayed games, couldn't get the team set. And then you put a guy in motion with 2 seconds left. They're not going to get lined up before the snap. So probably going to be cold. I'm not sure what the weather report looking like.
Probably going to be cold. Yeah, January in Buffalo, New York is going to be cold.
But yeah, I meant to say it might be snowing too. Like, we'll see if it snows.
Let's look it up.
It's probably not going to be a blizzard like last time when Tua played over there. But regardless to the fact, Jalen Phillips, actually bring down Josh Allen and not just pressure him.
They saying it's going to be clear skies, 34, probably about 34 degrees is the high, and they're playing at 1 o'clock, so it's probably going to be the high, so probably 34 degrees.
All right, it's going to be a little chilly out there. But bring down Josh Allen, Xavier Howard, play your game on the outside, and hope those young guys like Kader Kohu and company can do the same. And just you got to get that pressure going. I know Christian Wilkins is going to come to play, but you just got to be able to stall that Buffalo offense when they need to. And Josh Boyer's defense is going to have to create some turnovers like it's last season, because defense this year didn't produce the turnovers they did last year. But he plays that turnover-heavy
Brian Flores
defense. Oh, Josh Boyer was still the D coordinator.
Well, I mean, Brian Flores is a defensive-minded head coach, so.
Yeah, well, that's also because he didn't have any offensive game plan. But
Yeah, it's give or take. I mean, the Dolphins are in the same position, same record. So
Yeah, but it is what it is, man. Just honestly bullshitting at this point. But
I'm gonna pick the Bills, bro. Even if Tua was playing, even if Tua was at 100%, I still think it will come down to this Miami defense and how they have not been playing that good of late, and how this Bills offense is just clicking. Now it's Josh Allen, so you know he's gonna turn the ball over once or twice. This is a given. That's how he plays. He's reckless. He goes out, turns it over. But when he's not turning the ball over, he's throwing touchdowns. So the Dolphins are going to have to capitalize on those turnovers, which will be tough. But ultimately, I just think the Bills just score too many points, and the Dolphins they get flooded. They're not going to be, that offense is not going to be able to keep up with Josh Allen and the Bills. But like you said, if they do create a few more turnovers and that run game gets going, they got to keep the ball out of Josh Allen's hands. So
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, control the clock.
Yeah, like you said, turnovers, time of possession, stay ahead of the chains. You don't want any of those pointless penalties. So I don't want to say there's like no shot for the Miami Dolphins winning.
It's slim, bro.
Yeah, it's the slimmest out of every single game this week. But ultimately, I do think the Bills, they kind of just poured on Miami. And
slimmer than a Ravens' chances against the Bengals? Or do you think it's like the same boat?
I would say it's slimmer just because the Ravens' defense is better, and they've always given Joe Burrow fits like his entire career, especially this season. Like outside of that Pittsburgh game, like the last game, and then I believe it was that Sunday night or Monday night when they played in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow also didn't have one of his best games. So the Ravens defense will give Joe Burrow a little bit more trouble, but ultimately I think they win. But yeah, I think Josh Allen should have no issues playing against that Miami defense.
We got 1, 2, 3 divisional matchups in the wild card.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah, just don't do it. 2016 on me, Miami. They know what I'm talking about.
It was crazy, dog.
Yeah, it was a sick game.
I say it every time, bro. Like, you know what I'm about to say. Like, that shit literally woke me up out of my sleep, bro. I was taking a nap on the couch watching the game because Miami's getting blown out. And I just hear, like, a crack, and I wake up. I'm, like, looking out the window. I'm like, was there an accident or something? I just see the replay of fucking Matt Moore getting annihilated.
Bro,
insane. That's so funny, bro.
I watched
both times y'all made the playoffs. You didn't have your starting quarterback.
It's insane, and they're literally the same thing. Like Matt Moore, he played a little more when Ryan Tannehill went down. He played, I think, like the last 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm. He had an ACL, right?
Yeah,
in Buffalo,
Ryan
wasn't
Tannehill
it?
Tore his ACL.
In Buffalo, I think, wasn't it?
I'm not sure if it was Buffalo, but it sounds about right. But Matt Moore came in, won a big game Thursday night, clinched the playoffs for Miami. Same thing with Skyler.
Both Wait, which Thursday night game?
It was against the Jets.
Oh, okay.
Matt Moore. I know he threw a slant to Juice for a touchdown. He went like 80 yards.
Juice.
But so it's kind of like the same boat. Like Skyler Thompson comes in, he beats the Jets, clinches a playoff berth. So I just hoping not for the same result.
And that Steelers team is kind of similar to this Buffalo team where you had all the weapons on the outside, Literally. Although I think Big Ben was more proven than Josh Allen at that point in his career. But
and he wasn't washed yet either.
No, he wasn't. It's a talented quarterback. Antonio Brown at the peak of his career before the CTE. Compare that to Diggs, Le'Veon Bell, although the Bills don't have nowhere near the running game the Steelers had that year.
Unless it's Josh Allen.
Yeah, although Devin Singletary has been running a little bit better as of recent. Shout out.
Because they give him more than 8 carries.
Shout out Motor, man. Yeah. That's funny. Both of their running backs are from South Florida, like playing in Buffalo. James Cook.
Oh, James Cook. Yeah, I was trying to think of who was their backup. I just got to say that Matt Moore hit, that shit was brutal. I watched it like 3 or 4 times today. just to like remember it. He got smacked. Bud Dupree got a stick talk.
Bud Dupree, what a name. I think he's on the Titans now.
Yeah, I think he still is too, to be honest. But enough of the Dolphins. I know them boys sick of hearing it. So next up, we got the Giants, Vikings in Minnesota, on the road, Skull Nation. I got the Giants winning this one, but first off, obviously no one predicted them here either. So it's like what, 3 teams no one expected in the playoffs at all, even relevant. So I'm rocking with the Giants, man. I think this is the 4:00 game on Sunday.
It is.
And we all know 4:00, Kirk Cousins starts getting a little scared, bro. Anxiety goes up.
Even if it was at 1:00, it's the only game going on. So it's prime time, no matter what time slot you get it at.
I think they should call up Case Keenum and get him from Buffalo right now because they need a Minneapolis miracle to win this one.
That's
Give
the
me
case.
the Giants.
I hope so, because that means we'd play them again in the NFC Championship and blow them out.
Oh, man.
That was a crazy game, bro.
I got the Giants, man. Expect Saquon. The Vikings, they got to come out and stack the box. But I do actually think this is going to be a close game, not because of really Kirk Cousins and J-Jets, but I do think Dalvin Cook and Saquon kind of have a showdown this week. And who's going to run the ball more, and I just think Saquon's going to get fed the ball more.
Like 2017 again, Dalvin Cook and Saquon at the top of their games.
Yes, like 2017, bro. Fresh out of Penn State and Florida State, like them boys on the scene. I mean, the Giants are going to need it. Danny Dimes does it with his legs. I think he gets it done on the road. And I think Vikings will lose one of those close games where they're like, what, 8-0 this season? I'm like,
they were 11-0 in one-score games.
One-score game. I think they dropped to 11-1, and I think the Vikings got some question marks leaving this season.
I agree. I think the Giants win this game as well, but I think they kind of win more comfortably. I don't think it's going to be a close game, although I can't see it being a close game. But you got to think, the Giants just played the Vikings a few weeks ago and played them very, very well in Minnesota. Literally came down to a 61-yard game-winning field goal. If it wasn't for that, the Giants win. Daniel Jones had a great drive that last drive. I believe he went down and I think threw a touchdown pass. I'm not sure. Or Saquon punched it in. Regardless, this Giants team, man, like in the NFC, they're like they have this thing about them where it's like they know no one believed in them, no one thought they would be here, so it feels like they're just kind of going out and just playing football. You know, it's like they have no expectations, there's really no pressure on them, especially in this game. All the pressure's on the Vikings after getting embarrassed by the Packers a few weeks ago and then beating the Bears without Justin Fields, which is, it's the Bears. But, the last time we saw them play meaningful football, it was not good at all. They got blitzed. So this should be a very interesting game. And I kind of think, like you said, that run game just goes and goes and goes and goes. And this Vikings defense, they haven't been able to get off the field at all this year. They haven't been good. And when teams have been able to impose their way offensively, whether it's through the air, like we saw Philly do to them early on in the season, or on the ground, how the Packers did to them, how the Giants did to them a few weeks ago. Unfortunately, they lost. But we saw that this Vikings defense is susceptible. And kind of like you said, I think Saquon does have a big day. Danny Dimes breaks a few big runs here or there. And I do think ultimately the Giants beat the Vikings. The Vikings are... You know what? I'm not going to say it. They are not going to beat the Giants. Let's say that.
I do want to say that the Giants broke the boat curse since they haven't been to a playoff game since Odell, Sterling Shepard, all of them were on the boat.
Well, they were in the playoffs that year. They just lost.
No, yeah, they haven't been back since that picture. And they've been pretty bad since that picture. Blew up the whole organization. Obviously,
they lost to the
trading
Packers
Odell. They did lose to. They were all warming up on the field without a shirt and shit. Snowing Lambeau.
Odell did not have a good game.
Nah, he didn't. And they broke the curse. And then I wanted to ask you this kind of like, I'm not gonna say they're gonna win a Super Bowl, but kind of got that same feeling of that Giants wild card team with Eli Manning a little bit.
Yeah, I would say that, but
Obviously, the defense not as good, but
no, nowhere near as good. They had
Hall of Famers.
Strahan, Justin Tuck, I believe, was on that team. Osi Umenyiora, I don't know how I pulled that name out, but I'm sure he was on that team.
I think he was.
Yeah, they had a really good pass rush. That defense was pretty much what carried them. And then Eli was a better quarterback or a better thrower of the ball than Daniel Jones at that time. So it's similar in ways. I mean, I think they have a better run game now. It's not who is their running back, bro? Brandon Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs.
Yeah,
big body, bro.
Like Derrick Henry, if he was actually good.
It was
Derrick
like
Henry, if he was mid.
Mike Tolbert, like a couple years before.
Yeah,
like,
no, Mike Tolbert wasn't that tall. Jacobs was big,
Tolbert
bro.
was short, yeah. Jacobs was huge.
He was like Derrick Henry, bro, but not as good.
Not as like.
But
I don't think he was
serviceable.
as like just ripped, but he was big. He was
Yeah.
big, and that was the type of running backs that kind of had back in the day mostly. But I just want to say, O.C. Umenyiora, I can't say it right now. He was the only Pro Bowler on that team apparently. Strahan and Justin Tuck didn't. He had 13 sacks that year and 5 forced fumbles.
Oh, and JPP was on that team too, wasn't he?
I think that was a little early.
I think he was.
2007.
Oh no, he was on the other when they won didn't they beat the Patriots twice, right?
I think.
No, JPP won one with the Giants. It was 2011. The second time didn't they beat the Patriots twice, right?
Well, then I think.
But I don't know if they were.
Strahan was retired and.
The wild card run, I think, was 2007.
Yeah, because they beat the defeated Patriots or the undefeated at the time.
Or it wasn't 2011. It was. They beat the Patriots twice, bro.
But I did want to say Justin Tuck's face mask was like the cleanest of all time.
It was 2011
What?
when they beat the Patriots.
Beat him twice.
Yeah, okay, it was 2011. JPP was on this team, bro. Before he lost a finger.
Plaxico Burress made that catch down the sideline.
Linval Joseph was on this team. Yeah, Jason Pierre-Paul was on this team.
Yeah,
he was first team All-Pro.
JPP was him. Shout out Jeremy Shockey, man.
He had 16 and a half sacks.
But
2011.
yeah, I mean, I kind of get like a similar vibe from this team. Obviously, not the defensive Stackhouse, but you got young guys like Thibodeau off the edge, showing some promise, and much younger.
Yeah, clearly just ahead of schedule at this time.
Yeah, for sure. No one expected him here, so I don't know. It's kind of giving me vibes like that. So Giants fans might have a little something. Let's see if they get it done against the Vikings this weekend on Sunday. Next game up, man. The last divisional matchup, AFC North. Ravens, Bengals, 2 different routes to get here. Bengals slow, horrible start. Ravens
horrible start.
Well, not horrible, but
they lost 2 games early. Bad game against the Cowboys.
It was
bad game against the Steelers.
They finished hotter than they started, and the Ravens. Obviously, the way they started the season, they blew a couple leads, but they had Lamar Jackson, and now Lamar Jackson-less. Tyler Huntley lists. Now you're the third-string quarterback, Anthony Brown. And I'd love to pick the Ravens. Everyone knows my hatred for Cincinnati. But I can't. I just can't. I think the Bengals win this one. Unless Harbaugh pulls something out of his ass this week. Unlike his brother over there at Michigan, I think they're done for. I think the Bengals get it done. Joe Burrow Jamar Chase. They're going to be clicking. And then I think they're just going to control.
Unlike his brother Michigan, you mean just like him? Both losing first round in the playoffs.
That's exactly what I was like. I said if he cooks something up, unlike his brother.
Okay, yeah. I heard you wrong, yeah.
Because, or he's going to be on the couch with his brother. One of the two, like. So I got to rock with the Bengals, man. I just think it's too lopsided with this quarterback matchup.
I'm right with the Bengals as well at home, and I just think there's. So we were just talking right before the podcast with Roquan Smith getting paid and not Lamar. Like, that's kind of weird, bro. Like, I'm pretty sure the guys are happy Roquan got paid, but it's like, what kind of message is that sending to the team? Like, is that letting the team know, like, okay, we have an MVP quarterback, one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he's not going to be on the roster next year? Like, how would you feel about that? The guys are going to be on Lamar's side. They want to keep playing with Lamar. So, like, how do you go into a game knowing, that the franchise kind of made this choice already? They made a decision on how they feel about, Lamar Jackson, and if he will be there next year. It's looking more and more like he won't be, as time goes on. So, with that surrounding the organization, just a lot of question marks, man. This Ravens team, they've been like a very weird team, even when Lamar was playing. Like, blowing leads, losing games they shouldn't have lost, winning some big games, but ultimately, I kind of think, like what you said, like these two teams are like polar opposites. The Bengals have been, like you said, they've had a rocky start, but I mean, after those first few games in the season, once they figured stuff out, it's been smooth sailing for them. They've been playing some of the best football in the league. Although injuries are catching up to them, I believe they lost another offensive lineman, Alex Kappa, the other lineman they brought in. I think he's out. He's going to be done as well, along with Lyle Collins, who tore his ACL a few weeks ago. So nothing Joe Burrow isn't used to, playing with a makeshift offensive line. Literally went to the Super Bowl doing that last year. So I think Joe Cool will remain cool in the pocket, under pressure, and keep delivering the ball to those weapons on the outside, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. But I also want to see the Bengals run the ball more. Joe Mixon kind of had a quiet down year this year, whereas last year he was a big part of the offense. So going into the playoffs, I'd like to see them find that more. But I mean, kind of like you said, who's the quarterback for the Ravens, bro? Like, give me Joe Burrow.
Do me one favor, never call his ass Joe Cool again.
Joe
Brr.
So cool.
But
I know you wish he was in Cleveland.
I don't. I like my quarterback better. But
I don't know.
We'll see.
We will.
Regardless, that situation in Baltimore is very weird. Obviously, these players are going to go out and play their hardest for their QB, Anthony Brown. Like, they're not just going to turn it like he's a third-string quarterback. They all know that.
It's nothing against Anthony Brown. It's more of the organization.
Yeah,
kind
they're
of
looking at that front office,
picking and choosing.
Why aren't you paying him? And they got to be understanding. This is an injury-prone league. Lamar Jackson with no contract next year, messed up his knee. Does he want to go out there at 85%? No, he doesn't want to risk his career. And what? I mean, he was a 31st overall pick or what? 32nd. 32nd, yeah, last pick in the first round. And why would you go out, risk your whole career before you even receive any real money? I mean, obviously he got M's from that, but
not
nowhere near
to what he could get.
$100+ million he could get playing quarterback. So Lamar Jackson, I understand he's got to make a business decision for his career and for his family. So him sitting out,
his family,
yeah. Well, we know his mom's negotiating the contract, so
she might be on child support too. Might have to hit what's the name back up.
Yeah, you might. That's your contact, bro. You got a little insider. You might as well hit her up. See if he's getting on child support once he gets that bag. She's probably already got the documents ready.
Probably.
But shout out to you know who you are, baby mama.
Might have to step up and be the stepdad.
I'm not the stepdad, but I'm the father that stepped up.
He's coming with that fucking Lamar quarterback bag. Hell yeah.
Shit, bro. Just let me know, bro. I could play a little babysitter.
That's funny.
Last game up, man. That Monday night game. Cowboys Bucks. Can the Cowboys get it done on the road?
Nope.
at Raymond James Stadium. You couldn't even let me finish. Dog, all right. I mean, I got the Bucks regardless, but I really do think that the Cowboys have a legit shot to actually win a playoff game this year.
How good they look against Washington, bud.
I don't know, but I think they actually have a chance to win this game just because the Bucks aren't that good, and I don't think they should even be in the playoffs. But here they are playing in the playoffs. Once again, Tom Brady, so it is going to be tough to play Tom Brady in January. But the Cowboys have a real shot. On the road, it's tough. But you got to go out there, and if you're Dak Prescott, you can't play like the way you've been playing the past couple weeks.
Did you not see him against Washington, bro?
I said you can't play like you have the past
I'm saying,
couple.
did you like, you saw what happened?
I mean, I was seeing some of it, bro. I wasn't really trying to watch that
Let's just
game.
say he got outplayed by Sam Howell.
That's crazy. But I was just, whatever Scott Hansen showed me, man, in his last week. Shout out Scott Hansen. I heard he doesn't go to the bathroom. How?
Just don't drink before you do red zone. I don't know.
Nah, he's like, bro. I was like, he's got to like take some supplement to make him not piss, because that's kind of crazy.
What?
Bro, you 5 hours, like you're just talking all day. You don't take one sip of water. Like you gotta drink some water. But shout out Scott. But I got the Bucks, man, at home. Raymond James is gonna be rocking. Go ahead, get it ready for when I come for Gasparilla. I want it lit in Tampa.
Yeah, I got the Bucks as well. The Bucks are coming off of playing, their best football of the season. Was that 2 weeks ago? Or was that last week against the Panthers? When, Mike Evans, that was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago,
yeah.
2 weeks ago.
To clinch the division, yeah.
Because they benched Brady in like a second quarter.
Yeah, so Mike Evans, Tom Brady, the Mike Evans connection finally got going downfield. Chris Godwin got going. So the Bucks were literally playing their best football, and last week was literally, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I'd say it was the worst game they've played all year. Dak Prescott turning the ball over, just not looking good, letting the Commanders go up on you, playing all your starters because you were playing for a possible 1 seed if Philly lost. So everyone was in, and they literally just folded. Dak Prescott, bro, it was back-to-back plays. One play, he literally dropped back, threw like a curl route or whatever on the outside, and I want to say Kendall Fuller broke on it, dropped the pick six, bro. Like, he just dropped it. Like, he dove for it and missed it. If he stayed up, caught it, pick six. The literal next play, Dak throws an out route on the same side on Fuller. He jumps it, pick six, like back-to-back plays. Like, Dak is just, he's played what? He missed the first 5-6 games of the season, and yet he's like the league leader in interceptions. He's just been careless with the ball. It's not how you want to beat Tom Brady, who just doesn't turn the ball over, who's, the greatest quarterback of all time and literally does everything at the highest and best ability as a quarterback. So ultimately, I think this Buck defense, continues doing what it did. It's going to look like week 1. It's full circle.
That was so bad, bro.
Yeah, when the Bucks beat the Cowboys in week 1, it's going to be a full circle. So
field goal fest.
Yeah, but
I think it was one touchdown the whole game.
But I think the Bucks will score points on offense. They've figured it out. They've got it going. And the Cowboys they'll score a little bit too, but I just think Dak has been too careless with the football, too many big turnovers. The receivers really haven't been on the same page. If you're not CeeDee Lamb, because a lot of his interceptions as well have been, drop passes that just end up in the defensive hands, kind of like that Jags pick six we talked about, where the receiver just dropped it and it, boop, pick six, game's over, we lost. So I think they got to figure stuff out in that passing game. We know they're capable of running the ball with Tony Pollard and Zeke, two of the best running back duos in the league, but ultimately playing against the Bucks, I think you're going to have to air this ball out. You're going to have to throw it against the Bucks who can score when they want with Tom Brady and those weapons. So give me the Bucks at home. I don't like the Cowboys.
Final score week 1 was 19-3.
Something like that, bro.
Nah, it was. I just looked at it. What was it? I was going to say something about the Bucks or Cowboys. I don't even know, bro. It's probably irrelevant at that point. But, that wraps up our wild card predictions, man. Who you got right now? Who's your pick? Never mind. I'm not even going to ask you, man. I realistically think the Chiefs. win this year, but
Probably whoever comes out the AFC.
All right.
But I'm rocking with the Eagles, the fuck?
Yeah,
Philly,
I know
man.
you are.
Barry game, man.
I would have said the Dolphins if Tua was healthy. But just give me one playoff win, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully. Wraps up our predictions, man. Episode 20 of the podcast. Appreciate if you tuned in on one episode, all episodes, how many ever. Follow on TikTok, whatever it is. Wildcard weekend, man. It's a good time. New year 2023. Some team's going to turn it around. We'll see this year. But regardless, weeks to come, we're going to start covering some more hoops. Obviously, with the NFL season dwindling down.
Yeah. Basketball heating up.
Basketball is heating up. What y'all want to see? We're going to obviously have off-season talks. Whether you guys like these segments or other segments. Probably still do hot or not, NBA-wise, and shit like that. So, Goal2Go pod on TikTok, Goal2Go on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, whatever y'all streaming on. Go ahead, hit a follow, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, like, comment, and share on TikTok. It's been episode 20, man. You got anything else you want to add?
No, man. Pretty much it. I'm sitting here looking at my fantasy basketball roster. Like, everyone's out that was supposed to be playing. Like, what?
Welcome to the Hoops world, man. Oh, shout out Jimmy Buckets in Miami Heat. 40 straight free throws without a miss and one to seal the game last night. Stop playing with Jimmy, man. The Heat are coming back in the East. Feel it. All right. Yeah, you're not messing with it.
I mean, bro, the East is, outside of the top, few teams on top, like the Nets, Celtics, Bucks, Cavs, like I think those four are logs. Outside of that, I think it's literally anybody's game. I do think the Heat, with that experience, can definitely jump up to the 5 seed.
Fuck Dwayne Dedmon. I said it, bro. It's a bad pickup. Look what he did last night. Bro, he like
shows I saw he threw. Yeah, he was hot. Wasn't happy. That's some words for Spo.
Yeah, bro.
What is it with Spo and get into it with all his players? When Jimmy does it, it's hard. So he cares.
Yeah, because you're not Dwayne Dedmon. Like, bro, you can't do it, bro. Like, come on, there's levels to shit, bro. Star players, a lot of voice their opinion, bro. But
definitely are.
Did Jimmy ever walk off the court into the locker room? No.
Nah, he didn't play B.
Exactly, bro. He went out there and played, and Dwayne Dedmon should be sitting next to AB and CTE Central. No joke, CTE is a real thing. I apologize. Tua, man, get back healthy. Hopefully see you next year. I highly doubt that. In order to get canceled, I think we got to get more than like 10 views.
You never know, bro. This could be the one that pops up. You just said that.
Shit. Go ahead. Blow us up 500K, man. But regardless, man, appreciate everybody tuning in. Hopefully come back next week. Some good news with the fans. So catch y'all next week, man. Appreciate it.